Roman Reigns wasn't always the dominant force we see today, standing tall as WWE's tribal chief. Just a few years ago, he was a polarizing figure, booed relentlessly by fans who refused to accept him as the face of WWE. But fast forward to the present, and Reigns commands a following that borders on cult-like devotion. And how did this transformation happen? How did a wrestler, once rejected by the very audience he was meant to win over, rise to become one of the most compelling and beloved figures in professional wrestling history? Well, let's take a look. Roman's journey from being an unpopular underdog to a revered leader is a tale filled with struggles, reinvention, and resilience. It's a story that captures the emotional highs and lows of a man who fought not just for championships, but for respect, recognition, and his very life. He has now forged a deep connection with fans and achieved an almost mythical status in the wrestling world. Roman burst onto the WWE scene in 2012 as part of The Shield, a trio that quickly became fan favourites. And as the powerhouse of the group, Reigns captured attention with his athletic abilities and intensity. And when The Shield disbanded in 2014, WWE quickly positioned him as their next top babyface, hoping to mould him into the new face of the company, but the fans had other ideas. From 2014 to 2019, Reigns faced an uphill battle against a wave of negative fan reactions, and despite headlining major events like WrestleMania and claiming multiple world titles, he was met with boos, jeers, and chants, rejecting his status as a fan favourite. And fans felt he was being force-fed to them by WWE management, and his heavily scripted promos and perceived lack of charisma only fueled the backlash. So week after week, the disconnect between Reigns and the WWE audience grew more pronounced. And to make matters worse, Reigns' detractors saw him as a mere corporate product, a hand-picked successor to John Cena, without the organic rise that made fans love past champions like Daniel Bryan or CM Punk. And Reigns' story seemed destined to be one of failed potential and fan resistance. But everything changed in October 2018. In a shocking announcement that sent waves through the WWE universe, Reigns revealed he was stepping away from the ring to battle leukemia, a disease he had previously fought into remission years earlier. And as he stood in the ring, stripped of his championship and title, fans saw a man stripped of his bravado and forced to confront his own mortality. Suddenly, the boos turned to cheers, the jeers to tears, and the big dog was fighting for his life, and the wrestling world rallied behind him. This raw, real moment of vulnerability created a connection between Reigns and the audience like never before. And for the first time, they saw him not as a corporate puppet, but as a human being. His struggle was relatable, his fight inspiring. And fans who had once rejected him found themselves rooting for his recovery, hoping for his return to the squared circle. And when Reigns returned in early 2019, the reception this time was different. The fans had seen a new side of him, and they were ready to give him another chance. But it wasn't until 2020 that Reigns truly redefined himself and his place in WWE history. In August 2020, Reigns returned with a new edge and a new persona. The tribal chief had emerged from the darkness. And this wasn't the Reigns fans had known before. He aligned himself with one of the all-time greatest hype men and managers in the one and only Paul Heyman. Heyman, being one of the greatest minds in wrestling, helped Roman claim his rightful place at the head of the table and the head of his family's Samoan wrestling dynasty. Reigns wasn't asking for respect anymore. He was demanding it. He wanted to be acknowledged. The tribal chief persona was a revelation. Reigns exuded a quiet menace, a commanding presence that made it clear he was in charge. As the leader of his family, he portrayed a figure who was both ruthless and fiercely protective of his loved ones, a complex character who could be cold-blooded one minute and deeply emotional the next. This new character resonated deeply with fans. It tapped into universal themes of family, loyalty, respect, and power struggles. Fans who had once jeered him were now captivated by his every move. And Reigns' promos were no longer awkward or scripted. They were raw, intense, and filled with authenticity. He became a leader both in and out of the ring, and his transformation into the tribal chief marked the beginning of a new chapter, one where he would not only be acknowledged, but revered. Today, Roman Reigns commands a following that borders on cult-like devotion. His fans don't just support him, they worship him passionately, defending him against critics and eagerly awaiting every twist and turn in his storyline. But what exactly fuels this near-religious fervour? Reigns' tribal chief persona is one of the most compelling characters in wrestling today. Fans see a man fighting for his family's honour, commanding respect, and asserting his authority at every turn. His story mirrors real-life struggles for recognition and respect, making it deeply relatable. The tribal chief is not just a character, he is a symbol of power, resilience, and pride. His battle with leukemia created an emotional bond with fans that goes beyond the wrestling ring. They saw him as a real person who faced a real-life challenge with courage and vulnerability. And this authenticity made his character feel more grounded and relatable. And when he returned to WWE, fans felt like they were supporting someone they genuinely cared about, not just a wrestling persona. And as the tribal chief, Reigns has been presented as an almost unbeatable force, a figure who commands respect and exudes authority. Fans are drawn to his dominance, captivated by his confidence and strength. There's a psychological appeal in supporting a powerful leader, someone who not only demands respect, but also earns it through sheer force of will. Reigns has embraced his Samoan heritage and family legacy, bringing cultural representation to the forefront of WWE storytelling, and this resonates deeply with fans who see him as a symbol of cultural pride and strength. And as the leader of the family, Reigns has elevated his status beyond that of a mere wrestling character to an iconic figure representing something larger, respect for tradition, heritage, and family. But with his current success, there's no denying that Roman Reigns has cemented his place among WWE's top stars. But the question remains, is he one of the greatest of all time? Supporters point to his sustained excellence, character evolution, in-ring improvements, and ability to draw huge crowds. They argue that Reigns' transformation into the tribal chief showcases his versatility and growth as a performer, qualities that align him with legends like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena. They believe his current run, marked by high-quality matches and compelling storytelling, places him in the pantheon of wrestling greats. However, critics still argue that Reigns' peak has been relatively short, and his early career was marred by negative reactions and perceived favoritism by WWE management. They suggest that his current dominance may be more about WWE's insistence on positioning him as their top star rather than a reflection of his organic popularity. But despite his meteoric rise, Reigns remains a polarizing figure for some fans. The resentment from his early push still lingers for those who felt he was forced upon them. Others criticize his dominant booking, arguing that his near invincible persona makes WWE's product predictable. Yet, this divisiveness only adds to the intrigue surrounding Reigns. He continues to command attention, generate strong reactions, and engage fans in passionate debate. And whether loved or hated, he is undeniably the most talked about figure in wrestling today. So Roman Reigns' journey from a polarizing star to a cult-like icon is a testament to his resilience, adaptability, and connection with fans. His evolution into the tribal chief has transformed him from a corporate product into a cultural icon, resonating with fans on a deeper level. And while debates about his place in history will always continue, there's no denying the impact he has made and the passionate following he has inspired. As Reigns continues to evolve, the story of his legacy remains unwritten. But one thing is clear: Roman Reigns is not just a WWE superstar. He is a force, a leader, and a symbol, a figure who has transcended the wrestling ring to become something far more profound. And what about you guys? Is Roman one of the all-time greats? Is he right up there with the very best to ever do it at a character level? Let me know in the comments if you acknowledge him. And thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and keep grappling with and acknowledging greatness.